Well, good morning again. Today we're going to work on making paper chains, and the materials that you have, 4 sheets altogether. If you follow the directions, it should make it about this long, which is probably close to about 8 feet, I would guess. And these can be used to drape around curtains or put it around your tree or decorate whatever else you would like. Okay? Move those over there so that I don't trip on them. So the first thing that we need to do is measure our paper and put lines on it so that we can cut them. Your ruler has 2 edges to it. There's this side, which is standard measurement, which is inches, and then we have metric measurement, which is on the other side of it here. See, the metric measurement is way smaller, and on most of your rulers it will go up to 30. Inches will usually on these rulers go up to 12. Okay? So put your ruler so that, come up here real quick. There's a line right here. This is the 0 line. So you go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And your line down here for 12 inches is right there. But start here, not at the end of your ruler. Start right there where that little line is. So I'm going to put my ruler on my paper. Just as we were talking about, so that it matches up with that line. And you can see it comes right out at 9 inches. And then I'm going to mark it at every 1 inch. I'm going to do it on the top, and then I'm going to do that on the bottom. I'm using a pencil so that it's not too dark. So if I cut not exactly on, it's not going to show up too badly. Alright, now I'm doing the other end. And I'll show you the lines here in just a second of my marks. They're not lines yet. And they don't have to be much, just enough that you're able to see them when we go to line our ruler up. They're not real bright, but you can see the lines are right here, and these are right here, and they all should match. So now I'm going to put my ruler here as my straight edge. I'm going to line it up with my first line on each side. And I'm going to get it about like that. You can see my marks are just where I can see them. And then I'm going to run my pencil up that straight edge. I'm going to do that on all of these. But first, put on the glasses so that we can see the marks better. I'm going to make the lines fairly light, just enough that I'm able to see them, but not so much that they can be seen afterwards if I cut slightly off the mark. If you use your work mat, it will keep you from writing on your parents' table. Here. So, as you can see, I've got pretty straight lines and they're pretty even. These don't have to be exactly the same, but it works out pretty good if you do. Makes your chain a lot better. Now, I'm going to go through and measure 6 inches. I'm going to put that line right even with the edge of my paper. Put a mark at 6 inches. Do the same up at the top. Put my mark up at 6 inches. You can see my marks here and here. Then I'm going to draw my straight line off of that again. Now my paper looks like this. I'm going to grab my scissors, and first I'm going to cut this in half just because it's a little easier to cut the short ones than it is long ones, and then cut them in half. Now, all I need to do is cut these, and you're just going to cut those right along the lines that you drew. Okay, go ahead and do that with both your red and your green papers, and then I'll talk about how to glue them together. Go ahead, cut out both or all 4 pages, draw your lines, follow them, and when you're done, we'll show you how to glue them together. We will start gluing these now. So first thing I'm going to do, you can see that I've got these laid out, and I've got them hanging over just over the end a little bit because with my fat clumsy fingers I have troubles picking them up, but it makes it a little faster. And if you lay them out like this, it will go fairly quick. And I would put just a little bit of glue. I wouldn't do over about 6 of these at a time because you don't want the glue to dry. And put the cap on your glue each time so it doesn't harden up in the tube. I put about this much glue on. Not a whole bunch, just enough that it'll stick. Okay. Then I'm going to take this, fold it over, and I have about a 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch of overlap. And if you wonder how much that is, look at your ruler. Find an inch and then find the 1/2 and 3/4 in it. Okay, my first one. The second one, and you can do whatever patterns you want. I like to do the alternating. So we went red and green, and while that one's being pressed together tightly with this hand, I'm going to take and do this one. And same thing. And that makes this go pretty quickly. Just make sure you hold it down long enough that it sticks. And just keep going and going and going until you've gotten them all glued together. And pretty soon you have one just like this. All right, good luck and have a great winter break.